experience, I think, is really in tune with the spacing for this character. But, you know, Conrad, of course, we've seen him a couple of times on stream. And I've definitely seen him a fair amount of times in the venue as well. A regular, I'd say, of these parts.
Oh, yeah. He's often now just comes with Yo and others. But Conrad, known for... He used to play Roy, but ever since Cloud came out, he's been playing Cloud, and he's just been getting so much better with him.
Conrad on the come-up. And because he's going against Sethlon, and like you mentioned, Conrad previously had a Roy, he knows what to do in this matchup.
Absolutely.
He knows what to do in the Roy matchup. But does he know about the Sethlon matchup?
Yeah, that's actually a very good point, because like so many people just say like just learn the matchup, and then there's not just the character matchup, but the player matchup that you have to spend time adapting to. But we'll see if Conrad can maybe pull an upset here. Maybe Sethlon will just burn his way into the next round.
Maybe.
But let's see where Game 1 will take us. I think it's just going to be Starterville.
You know, they do have the cursor over Town and City, so it's definitely a possibility we go here. What would maybe be some of the advantage you'd see over to Town and City versus, say, Smashville?
Cloud is going to get kills earlier just because of the lower ceiling, and the higher platforms do kind of give him a bit better of a chance to juggle at those higher ranges. But Game 1.
So far, Sethlon starting off strong with a double-edged dance. He's getting some great percent. So far been able to follow Conrad's tech options. Conrad very clearly wants to get away in this position, and Sethlon knows this. He's just cornering Conrad consistently. That's the biggest thing about the way that Sethlon plays. He's just looking to go and take all of the space from you, all the stage from you, and when you're in that corner, that's when he's really going to strike. Conrad getting back some of the control of the stage that he so desperately needed, and he has a limit on deck as well. Sethlon is just all over him. He's going to need to use the limit defensively.
Ooh, that could have been a dead Cloud. But just slight misspacing, and Conrad's going to make it back all nice and pretty.
There's those up air strings that you mentioned before. Conrad starting to actually get back into this game, making this within 7%. Stray hit is all he needs, I think, to take the lead back. Sethlon has him trapped on these platforms. I love the way that
that's one thing that Cloud does have. Unless you can give yourself enough space to do the auto-cancel dare, he doesn't really have that good of a time landing against characters. And we kind of saw that a bit there as Sethlon just continued to juggle him. But that limit bar is starting to charge up. If he can get the kill here, then he can...
I'm sorry. I was so taken aback by the fact that Conrad had the down smash, but Sethlon looked like he just fell out of before the second hit only could connect.
It can be SDI'd, and Rage also has an effect on whether the second hit connects.
Oh, wow.
One thing I've actually, while not consistently been able to do, is the first hit you can SDI into the ground and tech off it, which just kind of ruins it. But enough about my little experiences in this. Let's see. Oh, no way. That was...
would have been amazing to see if Sethlon had gotten that counter. Conrad...
That would have been ridiculous.
He's struggling at this point really to take the stock, but as we can see, the limit about to be back online. Not even needed there actually to take the stock, and that's going to put him, I think, in a really good position.
That's going to... Oh, and he just gets barely clipped and has to use it. He now has to play super safe here in order to make up this percent deficit.
Trying to go for the nair.
Oh. Wow! Oh, and that was a really good exchange from Conrad. Wasn't quite able to convert off of it. Let's see if maybe he can get limit again and see if he can bring this within striking distance. Oh, but that F tilt, and he doesn't have a jump. That is it. And that's still really strong stuff from Conrad.
Yeah.
He started out getting kind of bopped by Sethlon, and then was able to bring it back, and unfortunately kind of got stuck when it came to trying to kill him, and started to show signs of a comeback in that game.
A comeback factor.
That's rage. Anyway, game 2, Conrad's going to counterpick to Battlefield.
And I think that this is a really, really smart stage selection for him.
Yeah, I honestly feel this is a better stage selection than Town and City, because this does give him the ability to kind of platform camp that charge.
That's right, but let's keep in mind the fact that Roy does really well on stage with platforms as well because of how his distro is, right? He has some great range on the sword. He can string together those aerials to snag any opponents that are stuck on there. And even in that last set, we saw at the very beginning of that game, Sethlon got so much damage off of keeping Conrad trapped on platforms. So while he's going to be able to do that limit camping that you were touching on before, he has to be cautious.
Oh, is that it?
That's definitely going to be more than enough.
That is going to be stock right there. That was a really good sequence of nairs from Conrad, and that's going to net him the first stock.
Yeah, those gutsy nairs. I love the fact that he hasn't been discouraged yet. Let's see if Sethlon has some answers. Conrad forced to use that limit defensively. Flim Hazard will let him get back onto the stage, but still in the corner. This is exactly where Sethlon loves to see him. What a punish, and what a closeout for that first stock.
That was so good, because the last time that he did that get-up attack just a few seconds before, nair. And this time, he just goes for the raw S-Smash and just liquidates that stock quickly.
Great F-tilt, actually, from Conrad. It was really good because it gave him that moment that he needed to breathe. And wow! Oh, no! And Conrad! Oh, that player cam was so heartbreaking to watch.
That was such a heartbreaker.
I was waiting. I was thinking to myself, you know, Sethlon, he expects this nair by now, right?
Yeah.
What's the answer that he's looking for? And that's why we saw him. He gets hit by it right out of nowhere. He already knows, I'm just going to go ahead and use this up B. It's going to let me get back onto the stage. And I don't know if he expected the stage spike as well. But hey, 2 for 1s. He'll take those. Sethlon advancing 2-0.
We'll take those like I took those stocks yesterday.
Oh, God.
at Throwback.
Oh, man.